Are you ready for another 5 digital item swap? Today, let's see what Rhonda Winstead has sent us to play with. And don't forget, you can join in too. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So this is a traditional 5-item swap to create a junk journal page. The only change is that it's a swap with digital items. The great thing about that is that you can participate as well using the same items that I'm using in my video today. This is a collaboration with Louisa Heinzel and Rhonda Winstead, and we each sent the other 2 participants the same 5 digital images as well as instructions. And lucky for you, all 3 of us are providing our digitals for you as freebies so that you can play along. So today I'll be using Rhonda's items, Louisa is using my items, and Rhonda is using Louisa's items. So please go check out their videos linked below as well. And under each of our videos, we are linking the freebie we are using in that video. And if you missed last week's video where I used Louisa's items, you can find that linked below as well. So let's see what Rhonda has sent. Before we read the instructions, let's look at the images. So she sent these 2 pages. One is this gorgeous masterboard. I'm assuming that she has collaged this herself. I love it. Beautiful neutral colors. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Then on the second sheet, we have this cool calendar page with some lovely vintage handwriting. Then we have a very wintry postcard, which I'm struggling with because finally we're in March and this looks so wintry. So let's see what we can do with that. But then thankfully we do have some floral images. So one is this cute piece of fabric, and this here, I don't know, it's probably also some fabric, but it's a narrow strip obviously. So let's see what we need to do. So it goes without saying that I need to use all the 5 items. So number 1, you may not use scissors or a rotary cutter for this challenge. Be creative. Okay, I think I can make that work. Number 2, make a paper ruffle using one of the images from these digitals using either hand or machine stitching. Okay, that sounds doable. The postcard must be your main focal point. Yeah, totally makes sense because I wouldn't know what else to make the focal point. I would have to take something from my own stash otherwise. Number 4, if you love using pastels, you must use some black or brown paint or other medium. And if you love using dark colors, you must use some pastel paint or other medium. I don't know what to do with this. Rhonda, what kind of an instruction is this? I think I use both. Like I use my speckled egg color a lot. That's definitely a pastel. It's like this very light blue, a little lighter than this, I would say. So that's more in the pastel direction. But I do also love using black and brown. I like both. So I guess if I like both, then I can choose what I want to do because I'm fine with either. And number 5 is you may use up to 3 additional items from your stash. Okay, happy creating, my dear friends. Rhonda Winstead. Well, thank you so much, Rhonda, sweetie. Okay, so we can't use scissors or a rotary cutter. I wouldn't even have thought of a rotary cutter, but that's something Rhonda does a lot. I see that in her videos. It's no problem. We just use a ruler, or of course, we could also use a paper trimmer. It doesn't say we can't use that. I think I'm just going to use a ruler to tear all of these pieces out, and that will help me then to make some more decisions. I could use my tearing ruler, but I think I will go with the normal ruler. And just a little tip, it is always easier to tear when you put the ruler on the smaller piece. So it's easier for me to put a ruler here and hold this big piece than to put it here and then to try to tear this little strip, because this will always tear weird. So that's just something that I've learned, which helps me a lot. And be sure to push down really firmly. That's something I still struggle with sometimes because your paper could tear very strangely if you don't hold it down firmly, or it will move and then your line isn't straight. I always think it's interesting. There are techniques to learn for everything that you do. You think like, okay, tearing a paper with a ruler, how hard can it be? But yeah, there are some techniques involved even for that. This one here has round corners, which I'm not allowed to cut because I can't use my scissors. And anyway, there is too much yellow for me here, and I want to get rid of this winter in the country because I don't want to think of winter anymore. I thought about just getting rid of the yellow completely, or maybe just leaving a very narrow yellow border. I think I'll do that, and I can still get rid of that if I don't like it, I guess. There, I think that's a lot better. Okay, so here are our 5 items. And the first thing I need to do is change this because, as I said, I don't want a wintry postcard right now. I want it to be more like spring. So how can we make this postcard to look more like spring? Since I can use either pastels or black and browns, I'm going to choose some pastels. And I'm going to use my Neon Color 2 water-soluble wax pastels. That's always such a mouthful. And I'm going to choose some pastels that I can use on top of this. So I think I need like a nice green. Ooh, this is a beautiful, it says gold. It's more like a green gold, so I think I could use this maybe. I'll have to see what this really looks like. Is there any other like light green? This one maybe. What is this? Also says gold. Nah, it's the same thing. No wonder I'm drawn to it always. There's this. This is not pastel, right? Nope. This is like this weird, what is it called? Lime green. Sort of pastel, no? Maybe we can mix the two, see what that would look like. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of pastel colors. So taking a scrap piece of paper, because I want to see what they would look like once we add the water. Have my water brush. Oh, that makes me happy. I'm using the Caran d'Ache water brush with the Caran d'Ache wax pastels. Yay, that should work well. Let's do the lighter one first. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call that pastel. Let's try this one. Oh, this is not mixing well. Okay, so maybe what I need to do, because this is totally not dissolving, and it always, of course, depends on what paper you use. It might mix better on this one. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it and do it like this, that I take it straight from here so that I don't get any harsh lines. Let's see what that would look like. So I'm changing the snow into grass. Okay, that's not showing up at all. Usually love this color. Yeah, I guess it's more gold than brown. I mean, it is nice, but it's not green. It's not really pastel. It's making the ground look like it's earth, which is fine. Beige. Beige can be a pastel color, right? It doesn't have to be green. I'm actually really liking this color now. Not what I wanted. Let's make the snow disappear. It's March. Okay, I actually like that. Then we need to get rid of the snow on the roofs. Maybe we can do some blue, light blue. I don't think I have any. I have this. That's quite turquoisey. No. I'm just going to use my jade green. Definitely pastel. And now we'll just add that on the roofs. So Louisa has worked with these same items last week. You can find that video linked below as well. Actually, I think I'll make a playlist. But of course, I have not seen it. At the time that I am filming this now, I have obviously not seen what Louisa has done, because also I don't want to be influenced by it. So I'm sure she's done something completely different, and I'm super curious to see what that is. Okay, I would say that snow is gone now, but we need some more elements. Actually, you know what? This is such a dark sky. Maybe I should add some white as well in the sky, like some clouds. Some nice puffy white clouds. Taking my golden gesso because it's a little thicker. Could have used acrylic paint as well. Actually, now I need to thin it down because it is very thick. Maybe I'll mix it with a little bit of blue. I don't know how to draw clouds. I've never tried clouds before. Since I don't want to waste this leftover paint, I'm just going to smoosh it on some packaging paper. Then we have this, which has flowers on it. I would love to have some flowers here. I'm not allowed to cut them, so this is really challenging. Rhonda, what are you doing? This is going to be really challenging to tear around, because I really don't want to have a lot of the paper around the flower. Rhonda. So I managed to tear these 3 flowers out of that paper. But first of all, I don't like all the white, so I will go over that with some vintage photo. Some of these lines are so faint that I think I want to trace those, or maybe even color in those petals. I'm not sure with what yet. Let's make him a golden yellow. Again, I'm going to use the wax pastels. Yep, that's nice. And I could edge them maybe with another color then. Let's fill in the green petals as well. And the center of the flowers I will make turquoise. Once they are dry, I can now place them on the postcard. Kind of look like sunflowers because they're so big. You know what? Maybe we just make a patch of sunflowers here. Like that. So those are glued down now. Another element I would like to add, which could be one of the 3 elements that I'm allowed to add, is from last week. I have these left from Louisa's printable. Wouldn't it be nice to have, oh, but they're kind of big. I am not sure. You know, I want to make it more springy. It's kind of big. Maybe I just get some of my own smaller butterflies. Yeah. Thankfully, I have some very small butterflies in my stash that I don't have to cut, so I'm not breaking any of Rhonda's rules. And thankfully, they are really small. I mean, they're still kind of big. If we look here, there's a half one. Imagine you would look out your window and you see a butterfly this big. I know I would freak out for sure. Maybe I should just leave it with the one. Or maybe up here. Yeah, up here, somehow it's not so weird when they're this big because they're much closer to us, right? Yeah, I think I will do that. I am inking them up, whoops, with walnut stain. I don't like the white edges. Oh, if I use 2, that's 2 items already. Then I only have 1 more item I can use. That's going to be a challenge. I saw that in this calendar digital, it says here, beautiful day. I would really love to have that as a sentiment on our spring page. Kind of hate to just tear it out from the middle there because I don't really know what else to do with this. But I'm just going to do it anyway. and I'll figure out the rest later. Probably not the smartest approach. Okay, this Saturday I don't think we need. Yeah, and this I'm going to just edge up. I'm going to leave the white because in this case I like how the white makes the sentiments stand out. I think I want to use this beautiful collage sheet to make a very simple envelope in which we can stick this postcard. But I want to make a window so that we can see some of the postcard through. So let's fold this up. Okay, so fold it here. Fold this, leaving a bit of a gap here. And then I want to tear this because I don't want the straight edge. I really don't like this being white. I wonder if I can use this to line it. I should have done that before tearing it. Yeah, I like that as a liner. Let me tear this. Yeah, then I'll glue this on. And let's tear this again. Thankfully, I have enough space that that won't be an issue to tear it shorter. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Then we need a window. I want the window on this side. So if we have our postcard in here, this side where I want my window, I want some of it showing through. So I'm going to take a pencil. I could center this. Then I'll draw with my pencil so I know where it is. Then I'll put something underneath and I'll use my craft knife to cut a window. I should probably use a ruler for that. And to cut inside of that window, not on the line itself. I want to have some space in between, so I will leave like 1/2 centimeter or even 1 centimeter almost. Okay, oh, this would make a really cute tag actually. That's nice how that came out like that. Okay, so we have the window. Let's ink that up. Let's ink the whole envelope up actually. So it's all inked up and I'm really liking the way this is looking. I forgot this one here. But what I'm realizing now is when we close this envelope and we take the postcard out, we have this white here, which obviously we don't want. But we do have this piece that we cut away. So what if we glue that right where that window is? And that way it won't be white. And that way it should actually look pretty cool. Even if we take the postcard out, because that will just fit perfectly. Okay, let's try and keep that in position. Maybe I'll draw where it needs to be because I need to take it off to glue it. Let's make sure it's the right way around. Yeah, because that would be typical for me to then just put it in upside down. Let's check that before we really do that. Yep. That is good. And I'll just add some walnut stain around the edges just in case it doesn't close so precisely. I don't want any white showing on the edges. And now I need to cover the window. I have this acetate from like a file folder thingy. It's double. And I can't use scissors, so I'm going to have to use my paper trimmer. I actually just need to cut down the length because the width is totally fine. Okay, and now we just glue that over the window. Ha, that's so cool. Okay, now we still need to close up our envelope, and I'm going to sew along these two edges here. So I ended up stitching around these three edges. You could also hand stitch, or obviously just glue and then make some faux stitching with a pen if you wanted that look. We still have this that I haven't used, and I need to make a paper ruffle, it said. So I guess this is what I'll make my ruffle out of. And I don't want these straight edges, so I'm going to tear both of the edges. I would like to kind of mute these colors a little bit. So I think I will add some coffee to this first. I have my instant coffee mixture that I always have in the fridge. Just spray some of that. Okay, and then I'm going to dry it. Okay, this is what it looks like now, and I'll just ink up those edges. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to make a paper ruffle on my sewing machine. So I'll just try to fold these first. Like that, and I'm also going to ink up those folds. And now I'll just run that through my sewing machine. So I've gone over it with my zigzag stitch a few times, and we could just set this here as a decoration. And I also still have a bit of this left, so we could put some of this underneath. Yep, and I will ink this up as well, obviously. Okay, let's glue this on. So that's our envelope. This is our postcard. Let's see what it looks like when we add it in here. I really like that. The only thing I don't like is that we have a white background. Unfortunately, I have used all my 3 items that I'm allowed to add. So one was the acetate, and then I have 2 butterflies here. Otherwise, I would have glued this onto a cardstock. But since I can't do that, I can obviously just ink it up. I could add some coffee. I could paint it. I do still want to add some notes here about the challenge. So I definitely don't want anything too dark. I was just thinking I could add a tea bag, but of course I can't because it's another item. I think I'm just going to use my coffee spray for the back here. And since I want to include these instructions as well, I might as well just spray these while we're at it. And let's just double check that we have everything then. So you may not use scissors or rotary cutter. Yep. Make a paper ruffle using one of the images. Yep, we've done that. The postcard is the main focal point. Yes. Yeah, and then if you love using pastels, use black and brown, or vice versa. We've done that. You may use up to 3 additional items. Yes, I would say we did it. So let's just spray. This one I need to do on both sides. Trying not to drench it because I don't want this to take forever to dry. Okay. So these are both dry now. That's the back side. Love it. These are the instructions. Very happy with those as well. So now I can add a bit of journaling on the back here about this challenge. So basically I said I love the challenge of the instructions, as well as having such a limited amount of items to work with, as choosing what to use in your journal can be quite overwhelming. That definitely holds true for me. So let's add both of these to our envelope. So the card needs to go in front. I really love it, and the colors work so beautifully together because Rhonda included some blue here and of course the neutrals. They work so well with this postcard. Good job, Rhonda, on picking the items. So now I just need to find a page to add it to my journal because this isn't bulky enough apparently. Crazy, crazy journal. So since I can't add anything else to the page, I need to pick a page that has at least something on it. And that is sturdy enough. I can always add something later. I'm gonna give myself permission to do that. Ooh, this is beautiful because this is sturdy. This is one that Nadia had made. So this is, again, this is Nadia's journal. I will link her Instagram below. This is so gorgeous. So this might be the perfect page. And all I'm going to do is just put it on like this over the page. This then is not covered up. I love that. And this here, of course, can be flipped open and we can take out our pieces. And I could, if I wanted to at some point, do something on this page. But I don't have to because actually I think it's beautiful like this as well. Now the only thing I need to do, and this is where I need to cheat. So sorry, Rhonda, but I need to attach this somehow. So I'm going to use a little clip here to attach this. That's it. I don't know if you want to count that cheating, Rhonda. I will leave that up to you. Okay, I just changed my mind. I don't want to risk Rhonda disqualifying me. I'm not using this clip, and instead I'm going to just make this into a tuck spot by gluing these two edges, and that's it. That way I didn't extend or break any rules. There, so we can tuck something in here and we can still open this and take out our items. All good. So make sure you check out the links below for Rhonda's beautiful freebies and to see the other two videos, one from Louisa and one from Rhonda, and just have fun. Play in your journal, use the items, and have fun. Thanks so much. Love you guys.